What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I spent a couple of hours putting the car back together. You guys seen the earlier clips. We got the CRX, the Flip RX CRX all put back together, guys, and I just realized a little while ago that I forgot to paint the mirrors, but overall the car looks freaking amazing. I am super glad I decided to paint this car because I think I would have stressed out more trying to polish out the old paint on the car, and granted the hood was a different color, the fenders were a different color, and now the car is actually one matching color. And I'm also glad that I decided to paint underneath the hood. I figured, you know, when you pop the hood, it's going to be silver because the hood was silver, and I wanted the contrast to not be all crazy, so I decided to paint the underneath of the hood, and I'm glad I did because it looks freaking amazing under here with obviously the refresh engine bay as well. So I kind of spent like maybe an hour or so sitting on the bench just looking at the car when it was parked right there. I just moved it up because I am going to work on the brakes a little bit more. I know a lot of you guys stressed on me about bleeding the brakes the way that I do, so I just went and bought a bleeder, which is back here from Harbor Freight. This is what CRX Seth used. I actually saw it in one of his videos when I was watching obviously one of his videos, and it seems to be working well for him. And I figured the way that I've been doing it, applying it to this car, the brakes just seem to not bleed through. So I figure with a little help of the vacuum bleeder, hopefully we can situate the brakes a little bit. The car does stop, it just doesn't stop how it's supposed to stop. The pedal almost goes to the floor before it grabs. But I want to jack the car up and adjust the ride height because the front's a little higher. I do want the car to be raked a little bit, kind of like how all my cars are. And I'm going to jack it up, take care of the brakes, lower the front coilover, and I'm not sure if we're going to do it in this video. I think I might, because I ordered the flex pipe 3-inch and it should be here tomorrow. And if we get that, all these pipings right here that I mentioned in the last video is going to be used to build an exhaust for this car. I forgot to paint the mirrors. I'm just gonna go ahead and get these guys all scuffed up, and I'm gonna trim it black because they came black from factory. I was wondering what this was. There's 2 wires that goes into the mirror, and I don't know where it goes or what it does, but it's not a power folding mirror. It's not a powered mirror. Is it like, I don't know what this is. But so I'm just wet sanding this with 320. And the thing is, the single stage that was painted on here when the car was painted gray, it's very light. I hit it with a scuff and it already kind of took off the paint, but I'm just going to use this right here to really smooth it out a little bit because the scuff was taking a little too long. I have probably a quarter of a can. I'm hoping that this is enough to paint both the mirrors. This one tall can was enough to paint like 3 or 4 layers on the bottom half of the bumper, the molding of the bumper, the fender molding, the bottom molding, door molding, bottom door molding, the bottom kick panel, quarter molding, molding on the bumper, molding on the lower bumper, the trims right here on both ends, and I mean that's pretty damn good. The leftover in the can was able to give me 2 coats of trim black for each mirror, and the other one is drying. This one's already dried. Took the little molding off to clean it a little bit, but I'm about to install this into the car, this way. About to install this into the car and really complete the outside look. Yeah, that looks way more complete now. That's what I'm talking about. So the Max Peeding coilovers, I preloaded the hell out of the spring, and I have the stiffness, the dampening of the shock at, I believe it was halfway through, so it's like not soft, not hard. And I just turned this perch 6 threads going up, so that's almost about 2 of this collar going up. And pretty much, I think normally what I do is I take off the fork, I spin the cup, makes it easier. I'm gonna try to see if I can turn the whole coilover into the cup and see if it'll lower it that way. This is the right one. Yeah, it works, but it is pretty freaking firm. So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn this. Houston, we have a problem. The shock body, lower body, is maxed out. So in order for me to get this car to be lower, I would have to loosen up the preload and have a gap up there, which I'm not trying to do. So I guess I'm just gonna leave it maxed out. Whatever it gives me, and then if I have to, I'll adjust the rear to be a little higher. Front wheel drive car, drag car, I mean, that's kind of how I would prefer it anyways. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna match the other side. So how I'm understanding this is you set up the line, you open up the valve, you put the correct hose adapter right here on, and you pump it. So instead of pumping at the pedal, which I always do, you pump it here. Builds up all these pressure, and I guess sucks out the fluid. You can see it's not a solid fluid flow. It's been doing just that right there, but it looks promising. Never done this before. So I'm on the driver's side, and I've pumped this to about 15. It's funny because my kit did not come with any instructions, so I was watching a few videos, and I'm on the driver's side now, obviously, and the way it's looking, like, I'm used to seeing the line solid when the air is out of it, right? But in this case, it's been like this all four corners. And even though it looks like there's a ton of air in the system, it's, believe it or not, a gang of fluid. I probably did about half of the cup all the way around to the driver's side now. I just started this literally, and I don't know, if this thing wasn't getting fluids through, it wouldn't be filling up this quick, but it is. There's a good amount of fluids coming out of this, but it just, like, to me, there's just a ton of bubble, it looks like, that's coming through the line instead of coming out solid. So I'm not sure if this is like working, or if it is and I'm having a different issue. I'm putting it at 15. Open it up, you can see it's just pushing out of there. So I don't know, I'm probably gonna do one more cycle like this, and then once the car is back on the ground, we'll see how the brake feels then. It is super hot today. I'm gonna let you guys know ahead of time, there is gonna be some noise in the background. So my neighbor moved out like 2 months ago, I think 2 or 3 months ago, and the owner of this house is not renovating but building another house in the backyard. So there's gonna be a lot of like construction work and stuff you guys gonna hear in the background. But today I just got back from O'Reilly's, and I ordered a part yesterday online. Flex pipe right there. Went to go grab some more 3-inch materials for the exhaust system we're gonna build today. Try to keep it short and simple. I always say it, but it always ends up being super long in the video. I've built many exhausts here on the channel before, and I mentioned that I went to Kel's house, grabbed a bunch of old materials from, or new materials, but in his scrap pile, and we have a high flow cat. I'm not sure if I want to run this, and a bunch of 3-inch bends, 90s crushed bends. I'm mix matching a bunch of materials to make this exhaust system. The only thing I don't have is a box muffler, so my goal is just to get over the LCA in the back, and we'll figure out a box muffler later. I do have a vibrant right there, but it's 2.5 that came off my CRX when I upgraded to a 3-inch. And we don't have a resonator, but with turbo you don't really need a resonator, but it'd be nice to have a resonator just so I can kind of help it tone down a little bit. But we're not gonna be running a resonator, so I'm gonna go ahead and just set up my stuff, get underneath the car, do some measurements, and start tacking in some pipes. So I have the flex welded onto the pipe to the flange bolted to the back flange, and I have some 12 mm bolts right here and nuts that are welded to the flange, so that way, you know, putting the bolt on and off will be pretty easy to do underneath the car. So I'm about to put this on the downpipe, which I'm gonna crawl underneath here with my pistol, and I'm gonna align this onto the downpipe right here. Ends right after the oil pan. I'm gonna align it, clock it, because I want the 2 bolts to face the ground where it's flat, and then 1 that's gonna be facing the top. Reason for that is because it's nice and flat like so, right? And if I did it like this, that corner can get caught if the car was lowered or whatever it is, and it could cause a lot of damage. So, oh, will you look at that? Slips right on. And one more at the top. Alrighty then. So underneath the car, from the downpipe to where I needed to bend before the gas tank, is 50 inches approximate. And lucky for me, I have, let's say, 32 and 16 and a half, 32, 16 and a half, 13, 48 and a half. So we have 48 and a half inches. Now 50 is a rough estimate because some of the legs off the bend is really long. You can see it, right? So you can see right there as well too, it's super long. So give or take somewhere between 45 to 50 inches of straight is what we need, and it looks like we have enough material to do so. And I'm hoping that over the LCA we have enough bends to go over the LCA, and then from the LCA to the muffler. Guys, so after 2 hours or so up and down off the floor, let me show you guys what I came up with. So everything down here is still tacked up, and from the flex on a down pipe to the flange, we have a 3-bolt flange. I do have a gasket for it, but I'll install it later. So we got all the way to the back, bent around the gas tank. And then back here, we have a flange right there, so it's not one whole piece. And then we're going 3 up over the LCA, plenty of clearance. And obviously, like I mentioned, we don't have a muffler, so this is where we're going to end it. I am going to try to still find a box, and then I have that brand new 90 I just bought that's going to go into the box. I'm going to have to get another 90 to go out the bumper. But yeah, that's almost everything that I've used, that I acquired from my scrap pile and Kel's scrap pile. And we're about to have an exhaust on this car. Only one. This is the exhaust we came up with all the scrap material, guys. It is going to be a ton of welds. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 flex pipe 15, and I think I already welded the other flange part, but 15 full 3-inch piping welding. That's gonna be a gang of welds going down. So right now I just cleaned up all of my tools and everything except the tools I'm gonna need to bolt this back up. Right now I'm gonna go and eat my dinner, and when we come back, hopefully we knock this out before we lose the daylight. Damn, we are already losing the daylight, but we got the whole mid pipe done. We got the LCA portion done for the axle back, and we got the flex pipe to the down pipe right there done as well too. The exhaust is installed, got 2 rubber hangers right there going to the back right there. All the flanges are bolted up. Got a rubber right there. I mean, it still shifts pretty good, but it doesn't hit anything. You can't hear it hit anything right now. Well, I mean, that's just shaking it really hard. But once we get the box on, there's going to be another hanger on the other end, and this should be more more stable. So I am super tired. All right guys, so that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the reassembly of this car. The Flip RX CRX is finally painted and we got 80% of the exhaust done. So I am super stoked to get the box on the car and how it sounds after. I'm really just trying to find something 3-inch. I'm not looking for anything brand name, but whatever I find in the market, you guys will probably hear it in the next, or whenever I appear this car again on the channel. This weekend there is a old school Honda meet coming up here from SoCal, and I'm gonna be out there with some of the friends. I think some of the friends, but I'm gonna be mobbing the wagon, guys. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed today's progress, be sure to hit the thumbs up, and if you guys want to stick around and see this car on the dyno hopefully soon, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.